What's going on, everybody? This is Football Exclusive, and today we're going to be doing a special video for you guys for 50 subscribers, and we thank y'all so much for it. I have Jane on the phone right here. Go ahead and say hi,
Yep,
Jaden.
we're doing a paired video. It's been a while, so
Yep, we're going to be doing taking all the Power 5 teams and ranking them. So I hope you guys enjoy. This video is going to be taking quite a while. So smash the like and subscribe if you didn't already, and comment down below what video we should do next. And let's go ahead and get started. All right. So here's my list. First up we have Clemson. They won the national championship last year with their freshman quarterback Trevor Lawrence. So I think they're going to be even better this year. Then next up on number 2 we have Alabama Crimson Tide. Not much to say there. Alabama's been the powerhouse for a very long time. They have Tua Tagovailoa and a lot of weapons on their team. So I think they're going to lose to Clemson again this year. And then number 3 we have Georgia. Jake Fromm is going to be more experienced, so I think Georgia is going to be a better team this year. I just don't think they're going to be good enough to make the championship. And then number 4 we have Oklahoma. They got their transfer quarterback from Clemson, I believe it was. I might be wrong. Jane, was it from Clemson, or do you remember?
right, yeah.
Yeah, Kelly Bryant. Or it was either Missouri or Oklahoma. I know Oklahoma at least had a transfer. So I think they're going to be number 4. So I mean, I think Oklahoma is going to be good this year. Number 4, and then we have Ohio State on number 5. Would have made the playoffs last year if they haven't lost to Purdue. So that was kind of disappointing for Ohio State. Number 6, we got Texas. I think Texas is going to be a very better team this year. They beat Georgia last year. Was it the Sugar Bowl?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah. So Texas upset Georgia. And then we have LSU. I think Texas will beat LSU, and that's why I think Texas will be above LSU. And then we have Michigan. Michigan's just been a very good team for the past few years. They kind of had a little bit of a disappointing season last year, though. Got blown out by Ohio State and lost to Florida in the bowl game. And then we have Florida at number 8. So they're going to be a very good team this year, I believe. Just a lot of experience on the team. And then Miami at number 9. If you watch my Miami predicting video, I put them at 11-1, so I think they're going to be a good team, obviously. Then Auburn, I think they're going to step it up and recover from what happened last season, getting upsetted a lot by Mississippi State and Tennessee. So I think Auburn's going to be number 10. All right, I'm going to give this to Jaden.
Okay, first I got Clemson, because, I mean, they just destroyed Alabama in the national championship last year. Then number 2, I have Alabama. Even though they lost, I think they have a good season ahead because, I mean, like Jake said, they've been a powerhouse for way too long, I think. I think they need to let another team step in their place. But, of course, that's not going to happen. But and then at number 3, Oklahoma, because Oklahoma had a stellar season last year. And I think more to come for them. And then for my surprising, I have Texas, because Sam Elliott, I don't know how to say his last name, but I don't know what year he's going into, but he was awesome last year. I think he's got a lot of talent. He's going to show this year. And then number 5, I have Georgia. It's like Jake was saying, Jake Fromm is going to be a great player. I think he is too. I don't know if he's going into his junior or senior year, but I know he's going to be good this year. And number 6, I sorry about that. Oh, I have Washington. Sorry about that. Washington had also a great season last year. I think they're going to step it up to another level this year, and then be even better. Then I have LSU. Great team. They played a lot of great games these past few years, but this year I think it's give me another great year for them. Then we have Oregon, and then Michigan. Yeah, Michigan. Like Jake was saying, had a few tough games last year, but I think this year they're gonna be back up and
So you
good
think
again.
Michigan's going to be better than Ohio State?
Yeah,
Yeah. I think Michigan totally has a shot at being Ohio State.
yeah. Like I think they have opportunity. Like every team does, but
Yeah.
Michigan's just a great team in general. So I think they got it this year.
All right. What's your number 10?
And then finally at number 10, oh, I just don't. I don't think most people believe it, but I'm putting Tennessee up there. Got to represent the Vols. But if anybody's been paying attention like I have to Tennessee, they've got a lot of good recruits, and I think this year could be the right, like one of the seasons that they're starting to get better. I don't know if they'll be the top 10 in the actual college, but I think they'll be in top 25 for sure.
All right. That's Jaden's for his top 10. All right. So next up, for the top 11 through 20, I got Virginia Tech at number 11. Virginia Tech really disappointing season last year, losing to Old Dominion. Um, I
Yeah,
mean,
that is.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah, that was really disappointing. I mean, come on, Virginia Tech. They scheduled Old Dominion, I believe, to get a lot of good recruits because there's a lot of players down there that's really well. So I got Virginia Tech at number 11 because I think they're gonna step it up this year and get even better. Then I have Oregon on number 12. I think Oregon's just a good team in general, so that's why I have them up there. And then we have Texas A&M at number 13. Texas A&M, I don't remember how they did last season. Do you, Jaden?
I don't think. I think 7-5. I think.
7-5. That would be kind of a disappointing season for Texas A&M for how good they are.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for next up, I have Washington. Washington is another team I believe is really well or done really well in the past. So I think they're going to do very good this year. Then at 15 is Syracuse. Syracuse very good last season. Very competitive with Clemson. Got ranked. Was just a solid team, and I think they're going to be very good this year. So I've put them right there. And number 17, I believe, is Utah. Utah, very good season last year. For a team like them, there's some teams that might surprise you they also surprised me last season. So I got Utah right now, and then Washington State, another great season for them last year. And then Florida State, I think they're going to step it up this year. They did not do very well last year. They went 5-7, losing to Virginia Tech. So I think Florida State's going to step it up a little bit and become number 19. And then number 20, some people might think they're really high and some think they're really low. I have Nebraska. I know some people who think they're going to go to the Big Ten championship, but I think they're going to be number 20. So that's what I have for Nebraska, and I'm going to go ahead and hand over to Jaden.
All right. So at number 11, I have Ohio State. Like Jacob saying, I don't think they're going to beat Michigan. Or like be higher than Michigan this year. I don't know who they really have this year either.
That kind, yeah, that would kind of make sense a little bit because I think Ohio State lost their starter quarterback last year.
Yeah. That's like kind of why I didn't put them in my top 10 because I knew they lost their quarterback. Yeah. So then I have number 12 Auburn. Because I know they are probably going to step it up, especially since they're being an SEC. But a lot of people say SEC has tougher schedules. That's why they didn't do too well last year. But like Jake was saying, they did have upsets.
Yep, that makes sense. SEC is the best conference in the league.
Yeah, for sure, and that's why I think most SEC teams, like you see, they're in like the lower division that don't win as many games. The reason why is they play more tougher teams, I guess. So yeah.
All right. What's your number 13?
My number 13, might be surprised, but it's TCU for me. They've been a pretty good team in the past few years. And like they're not a national championship rating, I don't think, but I think bowl game worthy is for me, honestly. And then for number 14, I have Miami.
Miami, yeah, I think will be a pretty good team this year.
Like you were saying, I don't think 11-1 for me is like their record, but I think they're gonna be pretty decent this year.
Yeah, I probably overshot them by a lot.
Yeah.
I would say 9-3 right now if I just predicted the record.
9-3 is reasonable.
Yeah,
8-4, 9-3.
yeah, they got that transfer Tate Martell. I mean, the question is, what's he done at Ohio State? He probably left Ohio State because I know it's been his favorite team for a long time.
Yeah, but Justin Fields came and
yeah, he probably was going to take over his starting spot. So, I mean, he was probably afraid he won't become the backup, so he transferred to Miami.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
And then for number 15, I have Virginia Tech. Like you were saying, last year may have not been the best season for them, but I think they're going to kind of recover. I think they were kind of rumbling down the hill last year. I think this year they're going to put the brakes on and start trying to tread up back the hill and get themselves back to where they were originally. And then 16, I have Wisconsin. I don't really pay attention to them too much. Yeah. I know they're decent every year, and like they're not awful, but they usually make a bowl game and stuff.
Yeah, they had a disappointing game against BYU though.
Yeah.
I think BYU just got lucky that game though, to be honest with you.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, like BYU, I think they're definitely going to lose Tennessee this year. By the way, this thing.
All right, number 17.
Yeah. Then USC, because I don't know them as a horrible team. I know the past few years haven't been in their favor, but I think maybe this year they have a good shot of making a 6-6 record.
Yeah, they probably fell last year because they lost Sam Darnold.
Yeah, because he was definitely a key to their offense. But I think maybe they can do something this year.
Yep, I wouldn't be surprised if they did.
Yeah, and then I have Penn State, just because their offense is all right, defense is all right. I think 7-5 to 8-4 is their record this year. Yeah, I don't want to give them too much leverage, but
yeah, Penn State's known for a team that goes back, like has their good seasons, have their bad.
Yeah, for sure. And then
19.
Oh yeah, 19. My bad. Yeah. Okay. Sorry about that.
You're good.
I have Northwestern. Last year they were. Do you remember the record they had last year?
I do not.
Yeah, I don't remember what their record was, but I know they were all right, and I think they made a bowl game last year.
I believe. Pretty sure. Yeah, I think they made a bowl game. I might be wrong.
I'm pretty sure it was either the year before, but either way, they're still in my 19th spot. And then for number 20, I have Utah, because you were saying how they had a pretty good record last year, and I think maybe this year they can do a little bit better as well.
All right. That's Jaden's. Now let's go ahead and go to mine. All right, so next we have Texas Tech at number 21. Texas Tech, I don't remember the exact record. Do you, Jane?
Oh, no, I don't remember, actually.
I don't think they're as well as I thought they would be, but I think they're going to go number 21 this year. Then Virginia's a very competitive team. They did lose to Virginia Tech last year, but I think they deserved to win that game. Lost from a fumble. So I think Virginia has a lot of experience on the team. And then number 23, I have Tennessee. As Jan said, I don't think they're going to be number 10. I don't think they're going to be that high. But I do think Tennessee's going to be good enough to get in the top 30s. Because, I mean...
Or top 25 at least, yeah.
Yeah, Tennessee, I think, is going to be a good team this year. They got a couple good 5-star recruits. And they have an experienced quarterback who works better under his new offensive coordinator. So I think Tennessee's going to go to number 23. And then next we have Wisconsin. Very disappointing season last year, as I was saying, to Jaden losing to BYU. And the next I have Penn State. They have their good years, they have their bad years. I think this will be a decent year for them this time, and I think they'll have a good year next year. So I have Penn State at number 25, I believe. And then we have NC State. NC State, pretty good season last year. I don't think a lot of people saw that comment coming. So
Yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
that was pretty unexpected. And
Yeah.
number 26, we have Arizona State. Arizona State, I think, will shock a little bit of people. And we have,
Oh yeah,
yeah. So now, what am I, 27?
I think so. Yeah.
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 I have Missouri. They got their new quarterback. I think it's Kelly Bryant. I forgot who.
Yeah. The one from Clemson. Yeah.
Yeah. So then we have 28, 28, 20. Let's see. 1, 20, 28. Sorry, guys. My paper's messed up right now. We have Mississippi State. Mississippi State, I don't think it's going to be that great of a team last year. They lost a lot of experienced players. And then we have Boston College at 29. I think Boston College is going to be okay this year.
Yeah, kind of average.
Yeah. And then we had Stanford at number 30. I think
All
it
right,
kind of fell
all right.
last year. So, all right, I'm going to hand it over to Jaden. All right, guys, I actually said the 31 team, and I went kind of behind a number. So I'm sorry. I'm going to go ahead and put Stanford on number 31 on the next screen. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to Jane for his 21 through 30. So go ahead on 21,
Sir.
Jane.
Okay. So, as much as I hate to say it, the 21st one, I have Florida. But I can only do it that way to make it fair for any Florida fans to watch us. Not saying like I'm putting behind extra just because I hate them, but that's just kind of where I put them generally for how they play and stuff. I don't think they're going to be as good this year because they lost some of their players, but I haven't paid attention to who they recruited either. But I'm just putting them at 21 because I don't really know. So, yeah. And then, as much as I hate to say this as well, I have South Carolina at number 22. I don't really want to put them there either, but, I got to be fair and put them where I think they should be.
Yeah, since we're Tennessee fans, we're not going to really enjoy the SEC East ones. And
Yeah, for
Alabama.
sure. Yeah, it kind of hurts me.
Yeah, but
put them there. But you
gotta be realistic.
Yeah,
All
for
right,
sure.
23.
I don't want to be getting hated on because I put them at last or something. So yeah, for number 23, I have Texas Tech. Jake was saying that they're gonna be pretty decent. I think they're gonna be all right. Maybe 6-6 is reasonable for me, to be honest with you. I don't know. I'm pitching one team, so sorry if I upset you or.
Yeah, it's hard to pay attention to 64.
Yeah, we don't pay attention to every single one of these Power 5 teams. So
yeah, while we're going and saying this, I'm focusing more on the SEC. He's focusing more on the NFL. This is kind of a special video now. We might do a little bit of a different conference, but I don't think we're gonna go in depth for it until our channel grows. So if you want to see if you want to see SEC or Big 12 things, and subscribe and then get more shared, and then we'll start doing it.
The one thing that would make us rage on this channel is if you ask for any other sport of a video. Yeah. Just saying.
Yeah, if you want a prediction, go ahead and comment down below. We'll reply to you.
Yeah.
All right, so go to number 24.
Okay, number 24. I have Washington State. My gosh, sorry about that. Yeah, Washington State. Last year I think is that they found out one of their quarterbacks passed away, which was kind of sad. But he was definitely a big part of their offense. But I think they're gonna be pretty decent as well this year. I think 5-7 or 6-6 is also pretty reasonable for them this year. And then for 25, I have Florida State. They're ACC, so they definitely have a tougher schedule as well. But definitely SC has a tough schedule. But I have Florida State for that, and I don't know what their schedule is going to be. But Jake will probably do a schedule prediction on it. So just stay tuned, I guess.
Yeah, I put their record on the ACC video I made.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I actually didn't watch that, I don't think, but it's on there. So if you want to watch that, you'll watch it. But and then at number 26, I have Nebraska. Um, Pretty average team, I guess you could say. I'm not a big fan of them, to be honest with you. Um,
Who was that again?
Nebraska.
Nebraska. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean Nebraska. I think will be a team that could shock some people.
Yeah. I wasn't a fan of them a couple years ago because we played them in the bowl game, even though we won. I'm still not a fan of any team we played, to be honest with you. So yeah.
Number
Then I
27.
have Arizona State at number 27. I think they're kind of a team that's not going to be good, but I think they might have one or two upsets this season. I don't really know their schedule, but there's an opportunity for them. Number 28, I have. Gosh, I'm sorry about that. I have Baylor. So you'd be surprised at why I put them there. I think 2 years ago they went like 2-12 or 2-10 or like 0-12, and then this past year they were really good. Like not good, but good compared to what they were a couple years ago. I think this year they're gonna be all right as well. Just because they have opportunity to do big things with their team. I think this year might be a good year for them. 29, I have Oklahoma State. Uh, I don't know how good they are. I never watched a single game of them, but just kind of there from like rankings I've seen before. And then for number 30 for me, I have Mississippi State. Just because they aren't going to be good this year, I don't think, but they're not going to be awful. So.
Yeah, a decent team.
Yeah, decent.
Yeah.
Maybe from like 5-7 to 6-6 to anything in that range.
Yeah, they've lost a lot of defensive players, and they lost their starting quarterback, I believe.
Yeah.
All right, so that's Jaden's 21 through 30. All right, so I already said Stanford. I'm sorry I went behind a number. I have Stanford on 31, and then next on 32 I have Michigan State. I think I had them a little bit late. I kind of forgot about them when I was doing the rankings. I don't think they're gonna do that bad, but I don't think they're gonna do great. I mean, people had them high last year, and they kind of disappointed fans and everyone who predicted them. And then number 33, I got South Carolina. South Carolina, I think, is just a team that's just decent, not an awful team, and not a great team. Um, then West Virginia, they lost their weapon, Will Greer, and what's their wide receiver's name? I forgot their wide receiver's name, but he was a very talented receiver, so that's going to really hurt West Virginia's offense, and they lost other people. So I don't expect great of things for West Virginia this season. 35 out of USC or Southern California. They lost Sam Darnold 2 years ago, as I was talking to Jaden. He just kind of slipped last year. I think they could do better this year, but I don't think they're going to do great at the same time. And the 36 out of TCU, kind of disappointing season last year. Their coach is really well, especially a second half coach. He's very good at seeing what's going on. So I think TCU will go 36. 37 of Oklahoma State. I mean, Oklahoma State is just another decent team. I think they're an upset team. Because they do upset a lot of people, such as West Virginia. And then we have 38 Iowa. Iowa is a pretty good team. I think they could do pretty well this year, but I think they're just going to go 38. I might be wrong. And then 39, I have Duke. Duke lost their weapon, Daniel Jones, which will really hurt them. So I don't expect too great of things for Duke. And then 40, I have UNC. I predicted them. I have them going 6-6. I think they're gonna do better than 2-10. Their new quarterback, Mac Brown, I believe it is. He has a lot of freshmen to work with and build up this team. So I have lots of expectations for UNC in the future. So that's my top 31 through 40. I'm gonna go ahead and hand it over to Jaden.
All right. So for my 31st spot, right?
Yeah, 31st. 31.
Yeah, sorry about that. I have Texas A&M, I think.
A&M.
A&M. Oh yeah, A&M. I always never knew their mascot, but yeah, Texas A&M
Aggie.
for my 31st spot. Especially since they're an SEC team, like we've been saying, like this whole video, SEC has tough schedules. They play harder teams. It's like tougher for them to win more games.
Yeah, it's hard to be in the SEC and not go against a ranked team. I think it's kind
Yeah,
of
like
impossible.
that's you. Like if you don't have a ranked team and you're playing and you're an SEC team and you don't play any ranked teams, that's kind of weird. Like,
yeah. All right. 32.
all right, so for 32, I have Colorado. I don't ever pay attention to that conference really. I watched Oregon and USC before, but I've never really watched that conference before.
Yeah, we don't really care for those teams. It's all across the country for us. We should know their records.
So we don't really pay attention to any of these teams, to be honest with you guys. We just kind of like do a little research on them to see how they did, but yeah, we never really kind of focus on them.
All right. Number 33. 33.
Sorry. No, you're talking.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, for 33, I have Michigan State. Like usually they put up a few good games, but like they're never like national championship potential or anything. So I usually just put them kind of in that kind of spot. So yeah.
All right, number 34.
I have Iowa.
Iowa.
I would usually put them higher, but I don't. I think they kind of reached their peak and they're starting to kind of just go down a little bit, kind of falling down the track or the hill, like I was saying earlier with the other teams. So I think that this is kind of the year where they start rolling down the hill a little bit.
All right, number 35.
Number 35 for me, I have Kansas State. I've never really known them to be a great team, but they've been all right. Gosh, I can't remember that wide receiver's name that played there a couple years ago, but he was like standout. Tyler Lockett, I think.
I don't know any receivers from Kansas State. I might know him as an NFL player, but not Kansas State.
He's on the Seahawks now, but I know he was like they were good whenever they had him, but that was like the last time they were good, from what I can remember. Yeah.
All right, number 36.
Number 36 for me, I have North Carolina State. Like you were saying, they're an alright team. I think last year they were alright, but this year, I don't really know who's on their team.
Yeah,
but I think.
Yeah, like I said, Mac Brown, their new head coach, he has a lot of freshmen to work with and improve this team a lot.
So I think they have a lot of opportunity to improve this year, but I don't think they're going to be great this year.
Yeah, I expect them to make a bowl game.
Yeah.
All right, number 37.
I have Syracuse, however you say Cuse, I don't know.
Syracuse.
Yeah, so that's who I have at 37. Yeah. I've never watched anything, seen anything, or know anything about Syracuse. Yeah. All I know is they're an alright team.
Have you ever seen them play Clemson?
No, yeah, I've never watched a single Syracuse game in my life.
Yeah, I never even heard them last year, and they were very competitive with Clemson last year.
Yeah, I always knew they were a team, but I've never even watched the game or cared about them at all. So I don't know.
Yep, 38.
I have Virginia, just because they've been an alright team every few years, but I don't really know how good they're going to be this year. Especially since I don't know any players on their team. I never have, and I probably never will. So, yeah.
All right, number 39.
Number 39 for me, I have Maryland. Maryland, I know, has never been a great team, good team. They've always been the average team that everybody just kind of never pays attention to. But
yeah, they pulled off an upset against Texas last year. They pulled off a pretty good upset last year against Texas. First game.
Yeah, I've seen a few of their games. So don't get me wrong, they're not an awful team.
Were they competitive with Ohio State for a point?
I think so, yeah. But they've never been a national championship team
I
like
think
ever.
Maryland's an upset team.
Yeah, they're kind of just that team that no one really ever watches until there's a big game going on.
Yeah. All right, number 40.
Yeah, and then number 40 for me, I have Pittsburgh. That's another team I've never watched and probably never will. But I have to put them on there, and that's just from what I've heard that they're an alright team. But I have to put them somewhere. So yeah.
I think they made the SEC championship or ACC championship, excuse me, last year against Clemson, but I guess they got obliterated.
When they had James Conner, they were pretty good.
Yeah,
but I don't remember anything else.
All right, so that's Jaden's. All right, so first up, I have Iowa State. These next 10 teams, I think, are on the list of decent teams right now. Iowa State, I think, is one of them, and I think there's a team that's there. Then Kansas State. The next I have Northwestern. I think they made the playoffs last year. I only watched Northwestern versus Nebraska last year. I think one of them never won a game at that time when I watched it. I think it was Nebraska, but I can't really remember. The next we have Colorado. Just a team I don't really follow much. Then 45 we have Maryland. I told Jane this already. I think Maryland's a upset team. They upset Texas and it was very competitive with Ohio State. And 46 we have Baylor. People expect Baylor to be good this year. I don't really know. I just know them for being like the 2-10 team, but I didn't really follow them that much. 47 Purdue pulling off an upset against Ohio State last year. 48 Arizona. 49 California had Aaron Rodgers and who else? Jared Goff, Jane?
Yeah, Jared Goff.
Yeah, so California was okay for a while, and then they lost them, and then they...
Yeah, like 2015 was like their last year of being good.
Yeah, so they're a decent team. Sorry, I just stopped recording. I had to resume this. So California, like I said, a decent team, and then 50 Pittsburgh. There's another team that's there, and they made the ACC championship, even though they had sort of a decent record, 6-6, 7-5. One of those. I think it was against Clemson, and they obviously would have lost that game.
41 for me, I have Vanderbilt, because they're in the SEC and stuff. And then 42, Arizona. 43, Kentucky. 44, Purdue. 45, Georgia Tech. And then for 46, I have Indiana. I don't really know why, but I just put them there.
Yeah, there's a decent team. I say, yeah, there's a decent team.
Yeah, like they don't really they're not that good.
Yeah, they're a team that can keep it close, and then they just blow it in the second half.
Yeah. Then I have Minnesota. Then Ole Miss. And then I have Wake Forest.
What's 50?
Oh, my bad. 50. Rutgers.
Rutgers?
Yeah.
Yep. Rutgers are a team I don't really think are that good.
But. Yeah.
Alright, so that's Jaden's. Alright, so number 51, we have UCLA. The question is, what can Chip Kelly do to this team? New coach from Oregon. They just hired him last season, so I wouldn't say new. This is his second year at UCLA. So, I don't know too much to expect from UCLA. I don't think they'll be that great this year if Chip Kelly can even get them to around 8-4, 7-5 record like that. Then Kansas, I have at 52. They hired a new coach this year. I don't think they'll do too great this year, but maybe in the future. Then 53 Ole Miss. Ole Miss really fell last year, so I don't have too big of high hopes for them. And 54 Kentucky. After I did this, I felt like they should have been a little bit higher than this. But they did lose a lot of people on offense, so that's really going to hurt them. Then 55, we have Indiana. Not really a great team in my opinion. 56, Oregon State. I think they had a pretty good season, but then fell really badly. When I mean a pretty good season, I don't mean 11-1 or anything like that. I think it was 7-5, and then they just started going 2-10 and 1-11. So I don't really think they'll be that great this year. Then 57 Illinois, 58 Vanderbilt. I mean, Vanderbilt's just not a great team. They had a pretty good season last year, even though it was 6-6. It's a good season for Vanderbilt. Then 59 Wake Forest. Um, they're just I think they got that new quarterback. What is his name, Jane?
I have no clue. I'm sorry. I don't really pay attention to too many teams.
Oh, I forgot his name. I think it was like Tavon something.
Oh,
Uh,
Tavon Bowers. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Okay. I knew it was something Tavon, but I couldn't really remember his
I,
name.
I just didn't know if he'd be playing this year. So
Yeah. So number 60 Rutgers or Rutgers, how you say it. Uh, Rutgers are just not that great of a team, so I don't think they're going to be that great this season. So I'm gonna go ahead and hand it off to Jane.
okay. So for 51, I have Missouri. Just because they're an SEC team and have tougher schedules.
Yeah,
Uh,
I mean
then I
Missouri lost Drew Lock last year though. That's really going to hurt them,
yeah,
I think. But I
that's
mean,
really why I put them so far down. Even though they've been so good the past 2 years, they've lost some key players. So
yeah.
that's kind of a big thing.
Well, I think they got lucky because they got Kelly Bryant from what was it, Clemson?
Yeah, but I don't know how well he's gonna do though.
Yeah, true. So anyway, go ahead and 52.
I have Illinois, just because like I don't pay attention to most teams, and it's just like I had to kind of put it somewhere. But based on their records, the previous years they haven't done too well, so I put them lower than some teams. 53, I have Louisville. Louisville, I don't know how you say it.
Louisville.
Yeah, Louisville. That's how I thought you said it, but
Yeah, I mean Louisville has been a good team before. I mean they were ranked number 3 for a point, I believe.
yeah, but they lost Lamar Jackson and
Yeah,
stuff,
so
and
that
it
really,
kind of
yeah,
the tower kind of fell for like it started rolling down the hill.
yeah.
Then at 54, I have UCLA. I mean, I don't really know too much about UCLA.
Yeah, I mean they got a new head coach, Chip Kelly, but the question is, what is he going to do with the program? Because lots of
Yeah,
people,
exactly. And like, I don't know how well what he's gonna do with it, and if he's gonna change it or not.
yeah, I
Uh,
mean,
so
yeah, UCLA, like people expected them to be way better than they were.
yeah,
So anyway, going to 55.
55. I have North Carolina State. Uh, I mean, I don't really know how to put them on this. I know last year they were all right,
Yeah,
but
they
like,
surprised people.
yeah, I don't know if they're gonna have like another surprising season this year. I think it's just gonna be another North Carolina State. You know.
Yeah,
Then 56, I have Arkansas. Honestly, I think Arkansas is the worst in the SEC.
yeah, yeah. They really fell. I mean, they
Last
used
year I think they went 2-10. I think.
yeah they were really good before, but then they just fell awfully.
Yeah, it kind of dropped significantly. Uh, and then at 57, I have Boston College. I don't know a single thing about them. I know Doug Flutie played for them, but that was a long time ago, and that's the only thing I knew about Boston College. So,
Yeah, 58.
58, I have Stanford. I really don't know where to put them either. I mean, some of these teams I'm putting right here on this like list, I just didn't really know where to put them. They've had some up and down years the past few years,
Yeah,
and like
last year
you
was
just
a
don't
mess.
really know what they're gonna do. So like you just kind of had to put them somewhere.
Yep. All right, 59.
Cal, I think they play doesn't Cal play Stanford?
I think so.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I
Yeah.
remember when Stanford had Christian McCaffrey, they were pretty good, but
Yeah,
since then they haven't been really good.
Yeah,
Uh,
Cal used to have they have pretty good quarterbacks from coming out of the program.
yeah. And then for 60, I have Iowa State. They're I think the Big 12 is the one they're in.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a pretty tough conference, I guess, but it's not like ACC or SEC type. But still, they're not the worst, but they could be better. You know.
Yep. All right, so that's Jane's 51 through 60. All right, so finishing off 61 through 64. 61, I have Arkansas, really disappointing season last year. I don't know if they're going to do better or not. Then 62, I have Louisville. I mean, they like I said, they used to be good, but then they lost to Lamar Jackson and really fell. 63 Minnesota. I don't think they're that great of a team either. And then 64 last place. I got Georgia Tech. I'm sorry, but I mean they they lost their head coach, and their players are used to the triple option. But since they lost some of these players that are used to triple option offense, just lost the head coach, and now they have to adjust to a new one. I just don't see them being that great this season, so that's why I have them at last. They might not be last. I just don't expect them to be on the top 50. So I'm gonna go ahead and hand this to Jaden.
All right, so before I say this, and anybody who's like a fan of these teams and like we put them really low, just letting you know, we put a rate warning at the beginning of this video, and I'm saying it again. These aren't the worst teams in the whole league. They're the worst in the Power 5 conferences, so don't be offended.
Yeah, yeah, like these teams that are really bad now, or in my opinion, that doesn't mean they'll be good in the future. I think most of these teams that are put really low will be rebuilt in the future.
Yeah, and these are going by opinion and like what we've seen in the past couple of years. So don't think it's like just because we think this, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
All right. So for 61, I have West Virginia. I know Jake's cousin's gonna fire at me for this. He's gonna blaze me for putting them that low, but I don't think they're that good.
West Virginia fans, they're not going to be that great this year, but just trust me, in the next 3 years, they're going to be a pretty good team again.
Yeah, like they don't really have too many good players this year. Like say what you want, that's just what I think.
Yeah, and then here's the other thing. I mean, when they went against Syracuse, Will Gruden didn't play that game because he didn't want to get injured. And you saw how bad West Virginia could do without Will Grier. So
yeah, and then Duke, or Dookie, as I say, because now they don't have anybody. Duke is just gonna be awful this year. I'm sorry, but they're just gonna suck.
Yeah, losing Daniel Jones is hard.
So for
63.
63, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, 63. I have Kansas. Now I know they've sucked every year for like the past 10 years. But
they got a new head coach, so they're gonna rebuild soon, hopefully.
So that's why I'm not putting them at the exact last spot.
Yeah.
See, that's why I gotta think a little bit. And then at my last spot, the worst team in all of the Power 5, which is the Power 5, so don't get offended, is Oregon State. They've not had a good season, and I don't know how many good years. I don't think they've ever had a good season, to be honest with you. I think the best season they had in the past few years was like 3-9. So the odds aren't really in their favor. So that's why I put them in the very last spot, because they suck.
All right. So that's our last spots. All right, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please smash the like and subscribe if you didn't already. We worked very hard in this video.
This took a bunch of days' work, so please give us a like and don't hate us for this. So
I think we've been working on this since we hit 50 subscribers. This was probably
this was gonna be our 50 special, but honestly, this could be our 60 special since it's been working hard and subscribing. So
yeah, so thank you for 50 subscribers. Like we said, let's see if we can get to 100 soon. We're about halfway there. Comment down below when we hit 100 subscribers, if we ever do. Comment down below what we should do for that one, and we'll definitely try our best. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Like I said, if you didn't like and subscribe already, please do that, and we'll see you on the next video. Peace.